Welcome to our video on door checks with and without hose lines. We're going to show you guys some footage of us conducting a search, doing door checks when you have a hose line versus what that looks like without a hose line, determining whether it's a go or no-go situation, and then what to do if you encounter a victim. First thing we're going to cover is doing a door check without a hose line. So a crew of two approaching the door. Officer is going to do a quick door check by cracking that door, looking for products up above on the door, sticking his hand in as far as he can up to his armpit, and trying to find that heat location. We're looking for heat to be up high. High is going to indicate that we have tenable conditions, at least enough for us to, with a pump can, enter the room and conduct a search quickly with that pump can applying water to the fire to keep it in check. Officer does a quick search of the room, and when he determines that there's nothing found, communicates that to the rest of the crew to get them out. Pump can exits, and officer then comes in behind or leaves the room and then shuts the door, conducting the rest of their search. Next, we'll talk about door checks with a no hose line and finding a no-go situation. This is a similar door setup with the officer opening the door, checking for products up above, and then sticking his hand in up to his armpit, trying to find heat. And when he finds heat to be high at mid-wall, that determines for us that this is a no-go situation because we have too much fire involvement for that pump can to handle. Officer then hooks that door frame with his foot, lays on his belly, and is able to do a quick sweep of the doorway entry to see if we have any victims. Closes the door and then continues on with that search. Next, we'll talk about door checks with no hose line, and then we find a victim. In this scenario, door check is the same way here. Officer does the door check, cracks the door, open, and looks for products up above, sticks his hand in up to his armpit, determines that the heat is up high enough for that team to enter. Pump can goes in first, and officer close second. They'll control that room. Does this quick search. Pump can applies water, keeping that fire in check. Long enough for the search to be conducted. The officer finds the victim, indicates that to the rest of his crew, and can summon help there to get that victim out of the ideation, out into a more tenable space. You'll notice that the pump can left the extinguisher on the floor in this situation, and it's going to be up to the crew to determine whether or not they need that for their exit. Next, we'll talk about door checks with a hose line. And you'll notice on this door check that it sets up a little bit differently in that we can open up the door all the way because we have the protection of that hose line behind us. We're looking for the 4 L's here. We're looking for lift, life, location, layout, and then lift again. Gets on his belly, checks to see what we have out in front, where that fire's at, and then checks again to see what kind of lift we had during that time. And then he was able to make entry to go to the search or the fire attack.